So do you think these values are showing variation, direct or inverse? Well, what is it definitely not?
Inverse.
Inverse. Why is it definitely not inverse?
Because both numbers are rising.
Both are going up. Simple as that. Both sets of numbers are going up. Now what we've got to do is figure out, are they related in some way? Right. So anyone spotted it? Gordon, you said you had. What do you think it is?
Y is x cubed.
So y is equal to x cubed. What's the constant of proportionality in this one? What's k? Because if we're saying we're going y is directly related to x cubed, that means we've got y equals kx cubed. So what would k be in this case? Very simple.
Power of 3.
Well, look at it. If I take x and I cube it, I get
1.
2 cubed, 8. 3 cubed, right? So if I write that down, look, if I put y and x, so what is y, what is x cubed? So when x is 1, 1 cubed is 1. 2 cubed is 8. 3 cubed is 27. So if I put the equals k times that in, make sense?
Yeah.
What is the k times? Well, are those the same thing anyway?
It's 1 cubed.
So how do you times something and do nothing? Times by what do you multiply by and not change the number that you're multiplying? 1. It's 1 times 1 times 1 times. Therefore, in this case, k is just 1. So y is just x cubed on its own. Is there any, like, Gordon jumped straight to that. Is there anyone that's thinking, I wouldn't have got there, I don't know how we got there. Okay, is there any way that we could, any other method that we could get there? Like Gordon, for instance, you got there, how did you get there? Did you just spot it?
I did, actually. I just spotted it.
You just spotted it?
Yeah.
Well, what methods have we got, guys? Well, if we look at it, if we times that by 2, this one is times 8, yeah? If I then times by, from 2 to 4, times by what? 2 again, this one is times 8. Alright? So what I'm looking for is, when they're directly related, we multiply by the same thing every time, yeah? But that's not the case. So what we're saying is we've got a times 2, but on the bottom is a times 8. Now what we can look at is say, well, how are these related? Now hopefully you will know that 8 is times 2 cubed. Do you all know that 8 is 2 cubed? So it's not abnormal to you, is it? Maybe it doesn't spring to your mind straight away, but it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking for. Okay, so that can help me go, look, okay, so it's the cubed bit, that's what I want. All right, let's have a look at another one. Hopefully you've written that down. If not, shout out. Okay. Now, is this one going to be directly proportional?
No.
Why not, Taylor? Shoot your head very confidently. No. Why is it obvious it's not direct? They're going in different directions. One's going up, the other one's going down. So then we're looking at, is it inversely? Or should we have a look at what happens then? So this one is times 2. All right. Let's go from here is also a times 2. Now if they are properly related, it should also be, this is divide by 2, and this one is divide by 2 again. So it's the same thing, right? Same thing but opposite. So we know they are inversely proportional. Okay, so it's an inverse relationship. Right, now what does it mean that the numbers are now the same as each other, but one's times one's divided? We say y is proportional to just 1 over x. Is there any squaring or cubing or anything needed?
No.
Why not?
Because it is inversely.
Not because it's inverse.
Don't.
We've got the inverse because one's times one's divide. Alright? Now, sorry, I will come back to this, but in this other example, look, we knew it was direct, not inverse, because one was times, the other was times. But what we knew on this one, look, that this one was a 2 and this one was an 8. So we had to figure out the cubing thing. Alright? But with this one, what do we notice? This is times and divide, so we know it's inverse. This time it's a 2 and a 2. So is there any cubing or squaring or anything?
No.
No. So I can just write y is inversely proportional to 1 over x, or to x, like that. Therefore, the formula is y equals k over x. Now I've just got to figure out what k is. So how do I do that? Should I pause? Before I figure out that? This formula here is supposed to link these numbers together, right? I should be able to use this formula to get from 1 to 24, or from 2 to 12. Yeah? So, like we were doing before, if I want to figure out what the k, what is k called? Constant proportionality. It's the constant that changes, like constant changing. It's the constant that when I apply it to one of them, I get the other. So, for instance, let's use 3 and 8. I tell you what, I'll do some colour coordinating. 3 is which one here? X. Okay. And 8 is Y. So are you happy I can replace it like this? So I can say 8 equals K divided by 3. Now I can figure out what K is. How do you figure out what K is? How many? Multiplying 3 by 8. We were saying times. No? So K equals 8 times 3, which is... Do you spot anywhere where it was... Oh, I could probably have figured that out really quickly. The 1 left. Yeah? Do you also notice, look, in the other one... Sorry, I will come back and I'll let you write it. But you notice, is it the same thing here, look? Yeah?
No, it should be so it's always the first one. No.
Well, it's not the first one, it's when x is
Equals
1. Yeah? Yeah, it's when x is 1 both times. Let me... Should I just go through the first I'll go through A and C, you can do B and D. All right. So we know when x is 2, y is 12. That's it. We want to know what is y when x is 4 if they are related in different ways. So for A, we know y varies directly as x. So we would write y equals kx squared. Okay? Now we put these numbers in. So 12 equals k times 2 squared. We need to know the k to work out what we do when x is 4. So that is 12 equals k times 4. How do I find k, Talia?
Divide 12
Your
by
voice
4.
went really deep on the other side of the room, but correct, well done. Divide both sides by 4, so we get 12 divided by 4 is k. So we know that k is 3. So we've got y equals 3x squared. Now we can chuck in the x equals 4. So what is y when x is 4? Well, we do 3 times 4 squared. So that's y equals 3 times 16. Go on, Jai. I did rattle through that quite quickly, so where are you confused?
Okay, never mind.
No. So I've kind of worked out k there, and I've rewritten it. So there's your pause. This is the function that connects the two. All right. And then I use that to work out when x is 4. Therefore, y is 3 times 16, so y is 48.